before you go back to the Knicks, you play with the Lakers. Hit an iconic shot, big time shot, win a championship. Talk about that. I mean, obviously playing with Kobe, God rest his soul, we all loved him, man. He's an ultimate competitor.
Yes, sir. Yes,
but
sir.
the stuff that you learned every day in practice, going against him in the locker room, prepping for games, like talk about, to me, two of the biggest competitors on the same team, and you guys win a championship together and you make a big shot. Talk about that and what that meant to you and what your career.
The first practice, I couldn't wait to get to practice.
Oh, man, I know that feeling.
So the first practice, Coach and Phil Jackson got all these different drills. So, at some point in time, me and Kobe, we on different teams. Kobe's nice. He's way more skilled. So he's scoring the rock. Kobe's scoring the rock. But in terms of competition, we was clashing.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. It got to a point where I had one outburst in practice because last year I was averaging 20. The year before I was averaging 25 in the playoff against them. And they I was cooking them.
You were in SAC the year before,
Houston.
right? Houston. Okay.
Yeah, in the playoffs I was cooking them. So I was like, I told Phil was like saying something. I'm like, you can't guard me. You can't guard me. You can't guard me. I'm like, if we had Yao last year, we would have beat y'all. Y'all got hurt. If we had Yao, Phil was like, hey, Ronnie, I need you to calm down. I said, nah, this ain't over till I say it's over. It ain't over. So I'm just disrupting the whole practice. And then at some point, Phil put me and Kobe on the same team because Kobe would push my buttons.
Yeah.
Phil was really good at just pushing your buttons on purpose, by the way. On purpose.
So Phil would push your buttons.
Oh, for sure. He knew exactly how to get you riled up.
That's a good coach.
He could do it to anybody.
That's a good coach.
He could do it to anybody. But at some point, he put me and Kobe on the same team, and then me and Kobe was on the same team in practice. Since that's it, we never was on opposite teams.
You probably never lost either.
We didn't lose a lot, but sometimes you get the rookies to come in there. You've been spanked.
Feeling froggy on a day, you had a back-to-back. Yeah, that's right.
It'd be hype. I know that feeling because when we got the big three, I couldn't wait to get to practice.
You ain't lying, buddy.
I could not wait to get to practice and go against Chris Bosh.
That was prime time.
Yeah, it was nothing that, no disrespect, but I'm up for the challenge.
How was y'all practices?
Oh,
elite, brother.
Elite.
Really?
Oh, it was elite. D-Wade, Bron going at it.
We had veteran dudes who like even our bench was veteran, right? So and when you brought it in there, like everybody wanted to play. You know how it is.
Wanted to play.
Yes.
Yeah,
you
get on championship teams. There's sacrifice. Everyone has to sacrifice.
Yes.
Nobody's sitting out.
Nobody. And
I miss the days where you want to practice.
Man, it was.
Our practices were more fun for us in the game.
Knee pads, tape, brace, mouthpieces. It's on.
I did hear about that. I heard Pat you had to be taped.
Yes.
Taped,
I don't like tape.
No.
I got to get taped.
You would have probably got it. You'd have probably let you wear whatever the hell you wanted because you his type of guy. You his type of guy. You would have came with whatever you wanted.
Wear tape.
Yeah, he wouldn't have bothered you. You his type of guy.
You'd have fit right into the culture.
Yeah, you would have fit right in.
Everybody was taped.
Yeah, we did.
Knee pads up, mouthpieces in.
I heard.
We call that Hunger Games.
Mouthpieces in.
Yeah, we call it Hunger Games.
Mouthpiece in here too.
No. Whistle blows. Knee pads up, mouthpieces in. Starts practice.
Hunger Games.
Knee pads up.
Knee pads up, mouthpieces in.
Every practice?
And they'll come by, like I wore sweats.
Yes.
And they come by and tap to make sure your knee pads are on.
It's the motherfucking jungle until LeBron James just started doing that nobody ain't seen and can't do before, and then everybody just stopped. What the was that? And now we competing, everybody at the highest level, everybody clashing. We at the highest level we can possibly go to, and this go to another level. We like,
and then another level.
Here we go. Now
was he at practice?
Man,
it was ridiculous.
But you've been a part of a championship team.
Yeah.
You've been a part of 3 of them. I was fortunate enough to do 2 of them. You see it, like I always tell you, coaching's great. Believe me, coaching is phenomenal. But coaching is your best player, in my opinion.
Oh,
if your best player brings it and sets the tone every single day, games, practices, flights, it doesn't matter. Every day. That man, our practices, man, that man came to work.
Yeah, he came to work. But I mean, by the time practice started, he was already there 2 hours.
2 hours.
He probably done rode his 10-speed.
Yes. He'd always come in those 10-speed.
He'd been in the weight room for 45 minutes. Now he on the table getting stretched. Now practice started. This man ready to rock and roll.
So think if you're one of us, you know what I mean? Like, okay. It just, all that stuff becomes a habit then.
Yeah. So,
That's incredible. That's incredible to hear, man. Because you don't really hear about the practices.
And then the guys that weren't in the rotation, like when me and him weren't in the rotation, we was upstairs playing 2-on-2s, 1-on-1s, and 3-on-3s.
That's incredible.
I mean, it's the competition just to keep the juices flowing.
For
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? Staying at it.
For sure.
Well, let's go back to that 3. We didn't talk about your 3. I'm telling you, I can vividly remember the 3.
I remember it too.
It's like seriously, talk about it, because those are moments. I don't care. Like, those are things people can never take away from anybody.
It was crazy. So so it was a jab.
Yep.
3, real simple.
Yeah.
But that was a move that Chuck Person taught me. We was in a gym going over that time after time, Larry Bird, time after time, before I could shoot. And then you leave these teams and you just keep working on your game, and it's like clockwork.
Yes.
You're not really thinking about it much. It was interesting because I never been to the finals before. Right?
That was your first finals.
That was my first and ever final. Never been again. So I didn't really know what it was like. So in 2008, I actually went to go watch the Celtics versus the Lakers because I needed to see how it felt. Because I'm like, if I get to the finals, I don't want to lose. So I went to see the atmosphere. So I was in the building when they lost Game 6.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is how it's going to be, right? So now, you get to this game, and in May I said Fish. I was talking to Fisher and Powell in the back of the bus, and I'm like, how come every time it's a big shot, like y'all knock it down? I was talking to Fish. I'm like, how do you do that? He's in the back of the bus, and he was like, yo, you serious? I said, yo, serious. Like, every time it's a big shot, it's going in. Like, what do you? And he was talking me through the emotional part. So I was really listening because I wanted to be one of those type of players, and then so that also had a lot to do with it. I felt comfortable.
Yes.
And then also in Game 6, we was down 3-2, and then Phil came to me. He said, Ron, I need you to score the rock. And I was like, really? Because I was only shooting 3 times a game.
Yeah.
My mindset, I'm not getting more than 4 shots. Yeah. Because you got Kobe on the team.
Yeah.
You got to deal with it.
Yeah.
You got to deal with it. And I said, word? I said, perfect. And I was like, perfect. Game 6, I came.
You never ask.
I thought you never asked. With Kobe on the team, so Game 6 I had 18, then Game 7 I had 20.
Wow.
And it was real simple, just stay in the flow. I didn't shoot well that game, but I was shooting every open shot.
Yes.
It was rhythm shooting. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand you got to take the shots that's in rhythm, even if it's missing.
Yes.
Offensive rebounds, flow of the team. So it was just like, it could have missed and went in, and Kobe just threw it to the side.
And that's
But Ron, you said it was a simple shot, but nothing simple time to score in NBA Finals, man.
And you didn't shoot well that game. That's the thing. When you don't shoot well and you get a game winning shot from one of the greatest players in the game, some people don't want that moment.
Nope.
Some people don't want that moment, and they might hesitate, wait long, wait wrong, or they might get off it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that you should give yourself more credit. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I know to us that's routine and all that, but man, a lot of times guys don't want that moment in the finals.
Hey, that NBA Finals juice is different juice than anything you'll ever have.
Boy.
It's true.
Yeah, boy.
I thought we could have went more, but the dynamics was wild. Yeah, but I definitely wanted that moment.
You said the dynamics were wild. Talk to me about that. What do you mean?
Well, I think because after Kobe got 5, he wanted number 6. You saw it in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? He wanted number 6, and so it was games where we was up after that finals and the playoffs up, 7 points. Up 10 points with a minute left, and instead of like just letting it happen naturally, get to the finals.
Yeah.
I think Kobe wanted it too much, and then the lead was just we lose game 1, we up 7. We lose game 1. Same thing in game 2. We up whatever. Damn, we lose game 2. Yeah. Now we in Dallas down 0-2. We get swept. Next year we play against OKC. We up. And I think Kobe, he really wanted number 6. And I know if he would have got number 6, we're talking about, all right, it's a tie for the GOAT.
Yeah.
And I think he wanted it a little too much.
Who's your GOAT then? Because you just brought it up. Who's your GOAT?
I'm going to go with Mike, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I think Mike is incredible,
Yeah.
Mike is incredible. Will Chamberlain's incredible. People could say what they want, but
Yeah.
So Mike then Kobe in your opinion? Basically, you said that Mike Kobe.
I'm going Wilt second.
Wilt second.
Yeah, I'm going. I think when LeBron's career is over, I think when you crunch the numbers, I think when you crunch all the numbers, it's going to read LeBron number 1.
Yeah, he gonna be top 5. I say this all the time. He's gonna be top 5 in every major statistical category, which is crazy to me. But it's longevity is a part of it, right? And he's been successful, and he did what he had to do. He's my GOAT, but
he did what he had to do. Will Chamberlain had numbers. He played 13 seasons. Yeah. Mike got 6. Mike did what he had to do. LeBron did what he had to do.
It's an impossible conversation.
Yeah, it's barbershop talk.
You sit here and say this about MJ. I'm like, damn, you're right. To me, MJ was my favorite player growing up. I mean, it's period. Point blank.
The only reason why MJ is my GOAT is because, like he said, we watched him growing up. I'm older than Bron. He can't be my GOAT. I'm older than this man. He can't be my GOAT.
I'm a little biased towards Bron. I love Bron. I always give. When Bron won his first title, man, I actually was on Instagram. I posted how happy I was. Because the pressure he had as a 17-year-old.
No,
they was expecting this 17-year-old to knock down game-winning shots. And they was just killing him. And he overcame it. But he did give me 25 his first game ever playing against me.
In sack.
And that still eats at me to this day.
I mean, as a competitor.
That's something that I can't live with.
Listen, as a competitor, we don't get
right
over
now?
that. We don't get over that. I mean, I remember, like you said, that you lost to Dallas. And, the first thing I'm thinking about is Dirk Nowitzki and how he's playing and the games that I've played against him and how he's played against me. And I'm thinking about those matchups, and I'm playing those matchups in my head, already getting ready to go into the finals. The next year when y'all have OKC and then y'all lose to OKC, I felt what we were saying is whoever beat the Lakers, that's probably who we got to deal with in the finals. So when we watching these guys and we worried about these matchups, like you playing those matchups, and when somebody get the best of you, I lose sleep at night. I literally lose sleep at night when somebody got the best of me, Killer. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I could mess up one play or one situation, and that keeps me up at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
We talk about Kobe. It's another fan question. All right. Favorite thing about playing with Kobe?
My favorite thing about playing with Kobe is seeing him prepare. Just he'll be in the gym first. I was normally in the gym last. I was always the last one to leave. I always watch people who are in the gym, and I'm like, okay, he ain't leaving yet? I make sure nobody in the gym. Now, it's all clear.
Yeah.
But Kobe was first putting a ton of work early. Summertime, he's there at 5:30 in the summertime. I had to go test that out because I would go to the gym after the club. So I'm in there like 2 a.m., I'm in the gym, sweating out the alcohol, But I'm in the gym. I'm for sure in the gym.
Legend.
For sure. But he was in there at 5:30. One day I went in at 8, and he was getting in his car. Yo, Matt, what up? I'm out. He's in his red Range Rover. I'm like, where you going? I'm done. So next day I got there at 5. I was waiting for him to come. I wanted to see it. I only saw it once. He was working. He was working. And then to see him in Boston, Game 5, get 25 straight points. At one point, I was just watching him. And I'm like, this is incredible. We're trying to win a championship. But I'm like, for a couple possessions, I'm like, yo, this dude is incredible. And I had to wake up. I had to wake up. But for a couple possessions, I just was watching him like, yo, he's like, this is Jesus. Like, who gets 25 straight points?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Our points.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, nobody else scored. That's
crazy.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
LeBron did that.
Yeah.
In Detroit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's funny because that Kobe stuff you're talking about, I was fortunate to play on the USA basketball team in 06 I went to Vegas. And I always prided myself on being there early because I didn't have the physical tools a lot of people had, so I had to outwork people. Mm-hmm. And for me to make shots in moments that we were talking about, I had to prepare myself for those moments. And I always prepared myself for it. Like we'd have practice at 11 or 10 or whatever it is, and I'd show up an hour and a half, 2 hours early. Kobe's in a dripping sweat by the time I get there. I was the same way you were. I was like, yo, hold up. I talk on the side. What time he get here? I got to come see this. You know what I mean? Because I learned that whole thing from Reggie Miller. My first year in the league, I come into Indiana. One of the assistant coaches with me says, see, that's what you need to do. Reggie was just getting done. Our first bus is coming in. He's already done.
Already done.
So I started my routine based on what Reggie did.
You was getting there early?
So I started taking back, no Ubers back in our old days, you know what I mean? So I was taking cabs early. But that was the thing I remember about Kobe. Obviously, I've learned it through Reggie here. But Kobe, the same thing. Like he was just a workhorse to me, man. Like, to me, that's the thing I remember most about Kobe, for sure. Yeah,
and at the end of his career, me and Kobe never went out to lunch or dinner. Me and Jermaine went out to lunch for the first time in 14 years in 2018, and we were, and it was he would always reach out. Jermaine's a good dude. That was my fault, by the way. Yeah. But then Jermaine will always say, "Yo, Matt, you all right?" Because after I got to practice, I'm so emotional. I don't want to talk to nobody. Jermaine knows something wrong. You're wrong. Let's go get some lunch. I'm like, nah, I'm good, but I'm really not.
Yeah.
So we sitting down in Oakland, and we was like, man, this is our first time ever having lunch in 14 years.
Wow.
We clicked on the court. I could execute. I could execute with the best of them. So I don't need to be your friend to execute, But it was like, wow, in 14 years, our first time having lunch. And then Kobe's last year, we had dinner. You see Kobe smiling. He knew his career was over. And I'd never seen that side of him.
Wow.
He's playing. He's joking with the rookies. Kobe never joked with no rookies. It was really good to see that side of him.
Yes.
You know, have some shots and have a good time. I'm glad I got a chance to experience that with him.
That's dope. That's dope.
So you talked about obviously the rivalry between Indiana and Miami, but that you also brought up the Indiana-Detroit. Everyone knows about the Indiana-Detroit.
That was a big rivalry.
I was at home like, what the hell? What the hell?
So we talk about the Malice and the Palace. You know, we played through that time. You being live in there, you know, we see the documentaries and the stuff that. What was it really like inside of that, inside the Malice?
It was a nightmare, honestly. You know, it was so many different emotions. I was playing extremely well. I was, you know, 24 for me is like 30. 'Cause I'm playing a lot of defense.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know, I was playing extremely well. You know, having my way. Came back better that season. A better defender and averaging 7 points more through the first 9 games. Some people would say I couldn't sustain 24. All right, maybe it's 22. It's 4 points better. I'm better than what I was the prior year. Yeah. Maybe it's 25. You know, so I was having a hell of a season, and I knew what Detroit was about. I had to become a more efficient scorer because Detroit not letting you play around.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, by the time you take 3 dribbles, they dead.
Yeah. So
now I'm a 1 dribble bucket guy at this point. You know, so I pretty much answered a few questions, and we felt like those games was some of the hardest games we ever played. Mm-hmm. We was a mirror image of each other.
Yeah.
You know, and so from a basketball perspective, it was incredible playing against Rip. Mm-hmm. You know, Rip not physically strong, but he mentally well on you because you was chasing.
Endurance-wise, buddy.
So you got to run, and your legs is going to be dead by the end of the game.
Yeah.
So from Ben, more physical.
Yes.
You know, and people like that. So and even Tayshaun, well, not physically strong, but long.
Yeah.
So you got to constantly find ways to score on Tayshaun. Yeah. So it's like mentally draining. And then being in the arena, as you know, the arena was super hostile. Mm-hmm. Detroit.
Yeah.
Boston. Philly.
Well, there's a difference between hostile and racist. I'm gonna say Boston. We ain't gonna say Boston is hostile. We gonna call that what that is. You know,
Here we go, Boston. You open a can of worms.
I'm just telling you, I ain't the only one that said it. Google it. Sure, it's gonna come up.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So the incident happens.
Yeah.
All right, and you go and lay down on the scores table.
Yeah.
Trying to defuse the situation, I'm guessing.
I watched.
Or okay, go. No.
I watched. I know what you was doing.
No,
you was taking your 10 seconds, right? You was counting
5 seconds.
Your 5 seconds. My bad, 5 seconds. But I watched. I'll be paying attention to you, dog. I watch your docs. I watched. You went and took your 5 seconds, which was taught to you. So you probably don't take therapy. I take therapy, and you take therapy
for sure.
So he was taking his 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So we get into the therapy talk.
All right. So
he was
5
taking
seconds.
His 5 seconds.
Yeah. So I mean, so we up like 20. Again, you know, in the arena. Yep. So in my mind, you know, I play hard to the last whistle. Even if I'm down 30, I'm picking up full court. Mm-hmm. That's just what I was taught. Yeah. So and no layups, right? So when Ben went up, I was just like, okay, let me foul him. Yeah. So you know, I felt it wasn't a hard shove. You didn't see Ben fly across. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Ben was like, you know, they're down, and he had to go to the free throw line. You know, so. And then also his I think his pops or somebody passed away like that day or before. So whatever's going through his head, he thought he gonna push me. Yeah. You know, so I stood there. You know, I took the push. You know, and at this point I'm trying not to get suspended. The year before I got suspended in the playoffs. I've been suspended in the playoffs a lot. So I'm trying not to be suspended anymore. So I said, all right, cool. It's like I'm gonna take this push. I'm gonna try to be the bigger man. You know, and you know, Ben was super riled up. Yeah. They're down, so I get it. So I said, you know, I'm not trying to fight. I've already lost a lot of cash, you know, getting suspended. So I'm not trying to lose no cash today. So I thought the scorers table, as my momentum took me to the scorers table. So I'm like, he didn't punch me in my face, so I'm cool. You know, I'm cool. So I said, I'm just gonna lay down here. I got Stack Jack. Stack ain't gonna let nothing happen to me.
Yeah, real one.
I had J.O. J.O. ain't letting nothing happen to me.
Real one.
I got JT from Brooklyn, a little former hustler. Yeah. I got all these hustlers in front of me. So I'm like, I'm good. You know, so imagine laying down while, you know, I'm good. Nobody touched me. And then I wasn't prepared. You know, so that had nothing to do with what actually happened. Mm-hmm. Yeah. When somebody, you know, I wasn't prepared for somebody to throw something at me.
Yeah.
I prepared for everything else.
Except for the beer getting tossed at you.
That was surprising. You know? And
It surprised everybody. It surprised me watching.
And they didn't show that part. And, you know, if you look at the clips, you know, the editors, they show it from when I went out.
Yeah.
They didn't show the 5 minutes it took. That should have been a T.
Yeah.
I'm on the table for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
So at what point in time, you know the hand signal, boom, boom, right? And now at that point, when the ref goes here, if you continue, you're gonna get fined. Like now, the commissioner's gonna be like, you're supposed to be off the floor, but he was never ejected. You see what I'm saying? They let him stay on the floor for 5 minutes. So now the stadium's riled up, which led this guy in the fourth quarter just threw a couple beer in my face. That was super insulting.
Yeah.
So
he say super.
super insulting. I was in the stands and
Super insulting.
I think I was in the stands in 3 seconds. I was like,
Hey, no, listen, hey. No,
Hey, the dope thing about it though, hold on, you guys are cool now, right? The guy who threw the beer.
Yeah.
Is that what I heard?
yeah, I mean, like you said, man, I had a problem with one individual. I didn't have a problem with all the fans.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I'm not gonna let the media turn this into a race war.
Yeah.
People was trying to say white, black. I'm like, nah, that's another man disrespecting another man.
Yeah.
In the hood, somebody disrespect you. You fight,
Pink,
Yeah.
black.
you get over it,
No matter what color.
and you move on.
Yeah.
So that's what that was about. And I know him more than anybody else know him. I got his number. Right? And he's for sure a little wild. He's wild. He's for sure. Nobody else is gonna throw a beer at me but him. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it was the one dude.
I should have him on your podcast.
Might be. Good call. I actually had a run in Detroit too, and it was one of those things where it's like, obviously when you get towards the end of your career, you know what I'm saying. And the situation I was in, it was one of those games where I think we were up, or it was one of those things where I just had to fill in some minutes towards the end. As soon as I walk in the game, dude just started firing off, riding me. So now I get to the free throw line. He's been riding me for a minute. So now I get to the free throw line. I got fouled. I get to the free throw line. I make the first free throw, and I make the second one. And after that, it's a timeout. This is my perfect opportunity. I started to walk to the bench, and I made a U-turn, and I walked back. Because I knew I wasn't going to get another chance. This is about 2 minutes left in the game. Once the game start back and everything go back, I'm just not going to have this opportunity. The game, I couldn't miss my opportunity. You know this as an enforcer and as a player. You can't miss the opportunities when you get them.
Yeah.
I couldn't miss this opportunity to come back and confront this. I literally walked over to the sideline and stood up over the top of him. I really walked over to the sideline. I stood over top of him. I say, sit your ass down and enjoy the game. I say, because if you wasn't in this arena, you wouldn't be talking like that. So sit down and enjoy the game if I smack at you in front of your woman.
In front of his woman?
In front of his woman. Yeah, I was smacking out you in front of your woman. So, like, I understand how Detroit fans could kind of get under your skin. I ain't had no beer thrown at me.
Yeah.
I ain't had no beer, but I believe if it would have went a little further, he would have been the mother that probably would have tossed a beer at me.
Yeah. Oh, right.
He was one of those type of dudes. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand how fans could get under your skin a little bit. And I ain't even the type of person that responded to that, but that mother rolled me as soon as I got in the game. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't take it.
It was super unfortunate, man. It was just like so much was at stake.
Yeah.
Another All-Star. That happened in November. Mm-hmm. So now you missed that All-Star. I was 13 before that. You missed that. That's second team. That's first team next year.
Yeah.
That's first team.
Yeah.
So many things was at stake.
And on top of it is a fan question on here. It's a great question. If that doesn't happen, what do you think the ceiling is for that Pacers team? Because that team was
great question.
I mean, every time you saw them on a schedule, it was like, gosh,
y'all was loaded.
That team was sick, man. So I got to imagine there was a championship in there. I got the rivalries would have been more rivalries. My career would have been different because when it's your team, it's your team.
Yes.
No doubt.
Yes.
That's a different amount of shots.
Yes.
I'll be honest, I don't know about that, but I can about imagine.
I mean, I can imagine too. Yeah. I can imagine. I've been around guys with their team.
Exactly right.
It's a different from taking a comfortable 20+ shots.
Yeah.
Then now you're getting on another team. Now you got to ease your way into getting another 20+ shots.
Yes.
And then when you get that's why I always tell people, don't request trades, man. You want to be comfortable, and it's going to add to your legacy. Then you get moved. Now you're the fourth option. You go from the first to the second, then you go to the third. Now you're the fifth.
Yeah.
It don't matter how good you are.
Yeah.
It's not your team.
Yeah. I tell guys all the time, and I repeat it: you're a trade, an injury, and one coach away from being an all-star role player out of the league. It can happen just like that.
Or having a big legacy.
Yeah, or having a great legacy.
Having a great
it can
legacy.
happen just like that.
So yeah, I think my ceiling, was not reached, and I think the team ceiling wasn't reached.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, watching that team, and like I said, I just from afar, you know what I'm saying, I would have fit in perfect. I love to watch that team play, and obviously competing against y'all was a whole nother thing. But
kind of jumping right into it, obviously he's a Miami lifer. I played in Miami. Indiana, Miami had some awesome rivalries.
yes, we had.
Talk about some of that and what obviously those back and forths with Indiana, Miami, and what that was like.
Well, they sent us home. You know that, right? Before you came, they sent us home.
Well, we'll see you.
They sent us home. So it started with them kicking our ass first.
Oh, they kicked y'all ass.
Yeah, him, Jermaine O'Neal. I'm gonna let him go ahead, but I'm just like me. You don't forget the motherfuckers that kicked.
This might be interesting.
That's real. I remember every loss. I'll be still sick over losses
Yes.
College losses. Ohio State, Michael Redd, still can't sleep.
Michigan State.
That's a bad one.
Oh man,
Sleep.
We ain't gonna talk about that, but talk about that those Indiana days against Miami though, for real.
it was great, man. It was tough. We was young and our practices was hard. It was we actually was before our Detroit Pistons and Indiana rivalry. It was really Indiana Miami.
Yes.
In terms of our team.
Yeah.
But our practices was tough, and then when we came up against Miami. Wade was nice. I remember Wade. He was young. He was a rookie.
Yes.
He was a rookie.
We were young. We were rookies.
They came in together, him and D Wade.
Came in together, yeah.
rookies,
And y'all was putting in work, and then but it was definitely I knew that once Wade get a little rhythm, like it was gonna be problems.
We can get into it. We've been in it.
It's all love, man. You understand rivalries, and you understand that. And I think, even though, we had those Indiana rivalries, I think, we also had the ultimate respect for each other as competitors and as enforcers. But I also felt like I could have been a part of that team. Kesey, Stat Jack, like Al, like the team that y'all had, like I could have fit in perfect.
Yeah,
I
we
could have
had
fit in
dogs.
perfect with that group. So I think me and you would have worked.
100%.
100.
J.O. don't get enough credit.
Man.
I feel like the year, everybody's been getting these MVPs. You got the best record in the league, MVP, and I don't want to really get too much into it, but I feel like we was 61 wins the year when we played with you guys in the playoffs. Best team in the league by 7 games.
Yes.
So I feel like you only get a window opportunity to get the MVP, and I thought J.O. Just because we was the best team, not because the real MVP wasn't better. I'm just saying we was the better team. So I feel like J.O. got slighted. And he's been getting slighted throughout his career. But I definitely feel like he should have had one.
And it's great that I think you say that, because I think a lot of people don't know if they don't follow the history. Like you and J.O. bumped heads a little bit, in Indiana. And then obviously when J.O. came to Miami, I never forget this. And J.O. remember this. Raul had to call us in the office. Me and J.O. had to sit it down. Because every time we played Indiana, it was me and you had the ultimate respect. But me and J.O. just clash.
Yeah, I did clash.
We clashed all the time.
So
when he got traded to Miami, Rouse called us in the office and say, all right, figure it out. Y'all got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But I know you had clash with J.O. And just talk about how, that worked and how y'all was able to fix that and put that back together.
It was the practices, man. So every team I played on practice, energy levels up. So when I got to Indiana, it was 100 miles an hour in practice. I'm going at everybody. And then J.O. loved that. And I take practice just as personal as the game.
Yes.
So I didn't really know the difference. So we have a tough practice, say yesterday, and whatever happened there. I'm in the game, I'm playing with you, but I'm still thinking about, I can't wait to get back to practice. I can't wait to get back to practice tomorrow. I'm in the gym early, and just getting ready, and it was just a high level intensity, and J.O. was the best on the team, and I wanted to be that, right? But that's why I tell guys to this day, it's enough room to have 3 or 4 good players on a team, and so if you are that type of player, you gotta know the difference. Go to work and practice, but then also hang out after. I never hung out. I was also introverted, so if we're going at it in practice, I'm not going to lunch with you. I'm not going to get dinner with you.
Yeah.
Not because I don't want to. It's because I'm thinking about practice.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get back to practice. and that separated the relationship. So I didn't build a lot of relationships. The ones like I wish I could. But me and J.O. got a better relationship this day.
Yeah.
A great and better. me and Al always had a great relationship because I've known him since he was young. You know, and then me and Stack Jack, we was on the court talking a lot because it'll be something like, I'm guarding the best player, and Stack Jack would be like, nah, I got him. And I'd be like, hell no, I got this. Get out of here. So we argue on the court, you know, about who guarding, you know, the best offensive player. So we grew a respect. But then JL's behind me. You know, we're not communicating much.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't need to talk to people because I can execute.
Yeah.
So I'm not talking to nobody on the floor. Coach said, do this. This was happening. I'm just doing my work. You know, so I didn't get a chance to really build, you know, a relationship. If something happens in practice, if some adversity happens, I never addressed it and moved on from it. It just kept piling on top.
Yeah.
So it was super unfortunate. It's just the life of a young, dumb player. Yeah. You know?
But nah, that's the great point, though, because I think, and what people don't understand is what we do in Miami is I think people think that we're confrontational as a team or as an organization. We're not confrontational, but we just like to address issues so we can move on.
Yeah, you guys.
We don't want to carry that.
Over there.
You got to look a person in the eye. You know what I'm saying? And let man to man and have that conversation about what needs to be done. And we only got maybe whatever 30 seconds, whatever a minute of time out. I got to look you in your eye and I got to communicate with you what needs to be done, what we need to do, and we got to get back out here and play. So it's really more so like that's the best way to do it. You know what I'm saying? I think understanding that early, because we didn't understand that early. You didn't understand that. I didn't understand that.
Y'all had these moments. You guys play.
Well, Rouse taught us that. You know what I'm saying? Rouse taught us that growing, like when we got into that organization, like, listen, man, look a man in the eye. All that, you know, as players, we want to look down, kick the floor, and mumble under our breath. What the hell is that? Who are you talking to? What are you saying? That gets nowhere. So now looking man in the eye, having a conversation about what we need to do and let's fix it, and now we can move on. You know
That's big. That's big.
They don't have that everywhere.